Hi everyone and welcome back. This is a new mini playlist, and in this playlist we are talking about how we can deploy a React package, a Node.js package and Nest.js package to the GitHub. So we are going to create our private packages like a Node.js library package, React UI component package and Node.js utility package, and then we are going to use those utility packages in the external projects. So this is a mini playlist because I wanted to cover all these things together. So there will be a couple of videos in this. So I have already covered one video where I was publishing a simple Node.js package. Right now, let's see what all we can publish to the GitHub or NPM. So this is the NPM repo, this is the GitHub repo, and this is the Gitlab repository, right? And we can publish our NPM package, or you can say the library, either to the NPM, where you can get through npmjs.com, right? This is how you will do it. If you are publishing as a public package, or if you are having a private, then only with the npmrc you can get that. Here, this is the GitHub and this is Gitlab. So GitHub and Gitlab also provides you these packages system where you can publish your library, and in your organization only you can access that package. So that package can be a, let's say, React reusable components, a set of components, or you can say you can also publish a Nest.js module or a simple Node.js utility library. So what are the examples? Here, what all we can publish? I can publish a simple React UI selector component, or carousel scroll, or any kind of a custom UI component. And we can also publish Nest.js package, which deals with the SendGrid to send emails. We can publish simple Node.js package where you can define how to interface with a third-party service, which is indirectly using XGOs, right? How to interface with the third-party APIs where you need a API token, access key, secret key, and all those things. So all those things you can bundle in a reusable package. So let's say if you have multiple teams, they can reuse these packages either from NPM, either from GitHub packages or GitLab packages. We just need to have is, okay, this is my external project. And what you need to do is, this is my app. You just need to add npmrc and you are fine. You can just use all these. You can read the packages published to all these repositories. Okay. So this is how things really works. Here you need to have a dot npmrc in the system where you are actually pulling, and it contains npm token, which you can get from either GitHub, GitLab or NPM. Okay, so we have already seen this thing of publishing a simple Node.js package. Now we'll try to talk about, let's say I'm building a React UI library, or I just want to publish one React component, maybe a simple React counter component that I want to make available for the world. So anybody can download using npm install -- save my package name, and they can see this counter component on their UI, on their application. So that is the objective. So it has lots of steps. You'll start from basic, and here what I'm going to do is, this is because I'm going to use only same repository. Here I have created these 3 branches. Through these 3 branches you can get the code. Okay, Nest.js package, Node.js package and React UI package. I don't want to create 3 different repositories for it. So for now, because we are on the Nest.js package, I will do git checkout React UI package, and for this I am going to delete all those things. I will start from scratch. I mean, this is not the right way of using Git. I'm like cleaning every other file and then instantiating my stuff. Okay, but that's for just demo purpose. So this thing we are going to do from the basic. So what all steps we are going to perform? So like prepare project, Then we'll configure Git, all the basic things. I mean, I'm not going to talk about these things in the detail. ESLint you can set up tests, because you're also going to write some tests for the component, right? And then configure package JSON for publishing, and then write your library, write your component. We can set up automated tests and then publish this, publish to GitHub as NPM package. Basic things we are going to do. So we are going to start from very basic. We will just start with npm init. That will set up our project, and I will just set this name. Okay, name will be TK Sharma. This is my package name, and rest I will just skip. So I got package JSON, and this is my package name. Okay, now we can create a source folder, and then we also need to install all the dependencies, right? Npm install -- save, because this is what you are doing. So you need to install React DOM and TypeScript libraries. React DOM, TypeScript, and types React. So I got some dependencies added. So we need to also see like what this dependency is and how we are adding them. So these should not be dependencies, these should be added as a dev dependencies, right? Because you are going to use this in the React application TypeScript, you don't need in the final build. So I will just change it to, let me just change it to -c dev dependencies, and we are good, right? Next thing is we need to create a tsconfig.json, because it's a TypeScript React component, and to build it we need a tsconfig.json. So I will just copy my basic tsconfig file. It has the basic things. Okay, what it is doing is include source and root directory source. This is the output directory ESM. So we are going to create the output of the React package into ES6 and CommonJS, because you might remember that when you want to import any package, you can do either like this: import package from TK Sharma React package, or you also want to provide a system, okay, package equal to require. In both the ways you want users to access your package. So you need to provide a compatibility in your package, so that if anybody is using CommonJS, they should be able to import it that way. If anybody is using ES6, I mean we use ES6 only these days, but you should provide both compiler options, module, lib, root directory, and strict true for the compiler check. JSX is React. Include exclude output directory, and we can just create a readme file also. We'll add some instructions. Now we'll create our React application. So in a source folder, we can create a folder components. I need to add I think git ignore also, because it is showing lots of files for git. I think it's already there. Let's add node modules, build, dist. Okay, now my component should be very simple, because it's the demo we are doing. I'll just create a app.tsx, and my component will be look like, because I already have imported React, so I should be able to import React from React, and I can also import use state. Sorry for that. React will be imported like this, and use state is Now I will just write a simple component, and I will be using all the conditions like what all props we can pass for this component. So props is a number. Okay, and I am going to create my component, simple counter component, which I can also copy and paste, but let's write it. So this is taking a props, and what is the prop? Inside prop, it's taking value, and default initialization is counter will be 0, and it is assigned with the props. So type for this is a props, and our arrow function. So this is the argument, and this is our arrow function, and here we are going to define our component. Okay, this is the default argument, so initialize like this. Okay, now I can just use, I mean, I don't write React a lot. Set counter, so we are just using hook, counter my counter, and set use state. This is as the default hook, and we are initializing this with a value which we are getting as a props. Const on minus, I mean, this is a simple function which is taking argument. Here we are going to set counter with the current value minus 1. So whatever the value we have, value minus 1. So on plus, similarly on plus, and we are going to return a simple JSX. So on minus, on plus, and this is the component we have created, and I will just export this component. So I'm just doing export default. Either you can do a export a particular class or a component, and here I'm doing a default export. My counter. So this is the just a React component which I have created, and inside index.ts. So inside source folder we can create index.ts, because you can write multiple component. Okay, and here I can import that. Import my counter. Component app.tsx. And then you can also export it from here. Why we have created these two files? Because you can create multiple component, and from here you can import them in the index.ts and make them exportable. So whoever is going to consume this will be importing these things like this. Import my counter from TK Sharma React package. Okay, this is the consumer side who is going to use it. So this is our simple component. Okay, now we can just add a script. Inside script, package JSON script, let's say what do we have, test. So we need to have a build script here, which can be simply TSC, because it's a TypeScript, and we can just run this by npm run build, that our component is building successfully or not. And you can see inside dist we got the index.d.ts. This is our component, and this is how our component look like. Okay, so I just created a build for the component, and we are able to do it. So folder dist should be appended all the compiled code. Yes, you can see there is a ESM folder which I have created, which is talking about ES6. So we can also have ESM and CJS. CJS is a common JS where you will be doing a require. ESM is for ES6 components, where you will be importing this library using import. Okay, now I can already we already have a git configured. Git ignore, do we need anything else? Dist build, everything is there. Now we can also configure ESLint, because we are writing a library, so we need to follow some standards, right? So these are the ESLint libraries you can add. I mean, we are using npm install --save dev, and we can add all these ESLint libraries ESLint TypeScript parser, overriding peer dependencies, React package found ESLint 8.1. That should be fine. Now we have all the required dependencies. What happens is sometimes you also need to keep your package updated, because let's say if I'm publishing this package now, here onwards there will be ESLint version and your main project might be using some another ESLint version. So then there is a peer dependency mismatch issue. So always keep your package updated this way. And I can just add eslintrc. So if you already have your default setup where you have defined how the eslintrc looks like for the React package, because in the create React app we don't create all those things, because create React app always manages all those things. But here, like ESLint recommended, we already have added all these things. These are the ESLint TypeScript parser, ESLint plugin, and this is my eslintrc. And I can also add a ESLint ignore. That will tell me, okay, these files you don't need to run ESLint on. When I run lint, it will not be running lint on these particular files. And then I can add a script for the lint, which is npm. And now I can try running this npm run lint. It's going to use this eslintrc file to validate the code. Okay. Now we can also configure a prettier. So these are like very basic steps how we do it. Configure prettier is simple. We can install the packages for that. Npm install --save dev. And for prettier, you can just use in ESLint config prettier, because prettier has a plugin with ESLint config prettier. Now we have prettier and then prettier rc.json file. Either you can create a prettier rc or make it as a JSON file. And the basic steps, basic things which, so every project has all these configurations, so I'm not going into much. These are eslintrc options, what is allowed, what is not allowed, when to throw error. So these are the rules. If you are violating the hooks rule, I will show the error. If there is exclusive dependencies you are missing while defining the React hooks, I will give you the warning, and these are off already. Okay, now I can run prettier also. So the prettier also has a script. So there is a lint is using ESLint and prettier is using the code formatting. So there is a difference in both of them. Prettier runs the formatting of the code styles like single quotes, double quotes. Lint runs the validation rules of the TypeScript code based on eslintrc. And now we can just run npm run prettier. I mean, these are already in my setup, so I'm just skipping all these steps and writing directly with you. If there is error, it will also fix that. So there is already everything is covered. So now in the package JSON we have a build, lint and prettier. Now we can also, because we are going to write some tests, very basic tests for this component. So we need to add some dev dependencies. We are going to use a React testing library because we are writing a component npm install --save dev. So what all we have? JSON jest mock jest and ts jest. I think something is deprecated here also. I think we don't need all these libraries, because React testing library you just need to provide a component tests, which can be simple, easy, and we need to write jsconfig.json. I mean, I will try to update this thing. Like we just need a ts jest config, and we don't need all these libraries, I guess. But for now, just so this is my tsjsconfig.json. I will try to add. I will update it based on the latest. So these are the files you are going to test inside a test folder. Modules can be all these extensions, test environment, and we are using ts jest. So we already have installed ts jest here. So test setup is there in the dev dependencies. I again did mistake. Okay, because all these things, whatever you are testing, whatever you are compiling, TypeScript and testing library, prettier, all these things that should be added as a dev dependency, not as a dependency. it should fix it. Okay, because I don't have any core dependencies yet. And then I can write a single test folder. And can write my simple test. So I will just copy from my, so here we have simple, we can say this is counter dot test dot tsx. Now here extension does matters. Somewhere you will do dot spec. So what we are looking for, dot test dot spec dot and dot jsx dot tsx. So either you can have a dot spec dot tsx or dot test dot tsx. Okay, this is my simple component that it should render. We are importing it from source, right? And then it should be able to render it. Now we can just write a test script for package JSON to run the test. So here I will do test. So how you will execute it, using npm run test. Can't find root directory, file path, provide path to resolve just config.json. Do we have this thing? Okay, I converted it to jest config. I mean, there was a typo in the file. It should be jest config. Now we'll run this again. It is running counter test. So here jest is a test runner, and we are using React testing library for writing the tests for that component. We can see React testing library is providing is the render function. So with the render, we are actually checking if this component, when I'm using it, it should be able to render. So this is like a very basic test. Here I didn't any emulate or simulate any click events like click onto the button. So the state should be +1, -1. A very basic setup we have done here. So if you see our package JSON, we don't have any dependencies. Everything is added as a dev dependencies, and our tests are passing. So our package is kind of ready, right? We are able to see this. Now the important part here, this thing. So whenever you are building a package, what you need to make sure that your package should be compatible for ESM and CGS. So I will put them here, ESM and CGS. CGS is a common GS system. These are the module system. EGS is a ES6. Now the name can be something else, but this is like we are using for ES6, where you are doing import export default. Common JS where you are using require. This is like ES5 build system, and here we are using require. ES5 and we do require. I mean, in the Node.js earlier we used to do the require a lot, right? So we need to make our package compatible for both the things. So how we can do that? That tweak we need to do in our build script. So here we are doing a build. So there are two type of build we can generate. One is the simple build, one is the build EJS and CGS, ESM, and another is a CGS, common JS module system. So here we need to pass the argument. Okay, what is your module system you are going to use? So I'm saying I'm using common JS, and out directory. I mean, I need to check this in the documentation how it really works. I can just create two folders, CJS. Okay, so when you are doing a simple build, I can build both, right? So I can just say npm run build ESM and npm run build CJS. I hope this thing is visible to everyone. npm run build. So when you do npm run build, I should be able to do the build for both type of package system, ESM and CJS. Let's try this thing, see if it works. Npm run build. Okay, and we'll look into dist folder, and you can see there are two folders available, CJS and ESM. CJS has a common JS and ESM is ES6 package system. So if you see the common JS, you will see how to import this component. This is a simple function, and export.default. This is like a common JS way of importing, exporting things, right? So this is CGS and this is ESM. Both module system is there. So let's update our package scripts. We'll just try to add, okay, there is a script prepare. Prepare means we are running a build, and build, this is how NPM scripts are defined, right? You can invoke from one script to another. So when you do npm run prepare, it will do npm run build, npm run build will do npm run build ESM, npm run build CJS. Okay, and when you are going to publish, so what we need to make sure that your code is formatted, code is linked, code tests all are passing. So you need to do one script is pre-publish only. So when you are doing a publish, before that it will execute, and what it is doing is npm run test. It should execute npm run prettier, and last step is npm run lint. So we need to make sure that whatever we are shipping is of quality. Right now we can change the version. Version is 1.0.0 and main is index.js file. We need to change it based on the module system, because this will tell where is the root type definition file is there or all, right? So main file will be inside dist folder, dist esm, there is index.js, and types will be available in the ESM. So these things we define in every package. Okay, from where we can find the typings, index.d.ts, because you are going to use this either in the TypeScript package, TypeScript project, then you need a typings also. Types module, we also need to provide a module, like which module system it is following. Dist esm index.js, main is CJS. So common JS, by default it's a common JS, and if you are looking for ES6, then it is available in the ESM index.js. Okay, just repository basic steps. Now peer dependencies. This is important part, because we need to satisfy the peer dependencies. Okay, when you are, somebody is importing this package, let's say you are building this package using some legacy version of React, and whoever is consuming this app is using React 16 or React 18, right? And you have written a library in the React 16 or something, right? So there is always a compatibility in 16 and 18, that works. But if you are using some previous version, that's a problem. So you need to declare explicitly, okay, peer dependency, wherever you are using, then the owner, the project owner, should be at least using React 16. That is the minimum check we need. And the another thing is, when we are bundling this package, when you are doing npm run publish, then what all files we wanted to push in the package, not every not modules, not all the source code. We just want only dist, license and readme file, nothing else, nothing more than this, because this contains our binary code like the typescript.tsx, the typing definitions and all these things. So we don't want to take anything else. Now this is our simple package JSON is ready. Now what we need to do is we need to follow the basic steps. We need to, we are already on the branch. So first I will try to publish it. So before that I need to do the login, NPM login. So let me prepare that, NPM login. So this is a simple npm command, npm login, and I'm doing login to the GitHub npm package registry. Okay, my username is TK Sharma and password is your GitHub personal access token. And this is how you can get the token. I have already discussed the same thing in the last video. Write packages, it's already have an admin access. These permissions are optional, but let's do this. So I will generate a token and then I will use that as a password. So here I'm logged in to the npm GitHub npm registry with this user. Now what I need to do, I need to basic steps, npm publish, and try to see. You can also do npm publish dry run. So let's do the dry run first. Okay, we got some error, require statement, but why the lint is checking inside the dist folder? Okay, let's check our ESLint ignore. Oh, there is a typo here, you can see it's ESLint ignore. Okay, now run this again. So dry run is just going to give us the overview what all things are happening. NPM, so it does the test, then lint, then prettier, and then this is how it will be. Right now we can just do npm publish, and we will publish our package. So we need to have everything. Git ignore is there, ESLint ignore. So I will just do npm publish. Okay, our package got published. Now let's take a look how it look like. So here you can see our package, React package, right? This is which I have recently pushed, and this is my readme file. I will try to update the documentation, but now when you are using it, you just need an npm-rc file with a GitHub token, sorry, npm token, and this is how you can install it. Now I can change the tweak with the versions, change the functionality, all those things, and I can publish. Let's say I will patch the minor version and do the npm publish again. Because I'm already logged in, I can keep publishing the versions based on the changes, and I already have a tests running, so I don't need to worry about any failure. Now how can we automate this thing? Let's say you are running it as a GitHub Actions or CI pipeline. Let's take a look onto that.